All right, so I only got like 5 minutes before I start my next group, but I wanted to get this conversation off, and I kept pushing it back and trying to figure out how to say it and how to do it. So I'm just decided to spend the next couple minutes doing this. Basically, this conversation is about there's no I in team, however there is a me in team, and what I mean by that is specifically towards track and field athletes is evaluating, are you as an athlete being used or are you being supported? And this is what I mean. As an athlete, being used is doing things for the team, doing things in support of others. Yeah. And then, you know, pretty much what I'm trying to get at is, I feel like I'm just rambling, but is there are coaches out there that their overall focus is to put a banner on their wall, or to put a plaque on their office, or to add these accolades to their overall resume. And the part that sucks for the athlete is if coaches are doing that for themselves, what happens is the only person that gets hurt within that is the athlete. So here's what I mean. Here's a scenario. This is not a true scenario. However, this might ring true to you. The people and places I'm talking about are not real. It's just a story that I'm making up to explain something. Let's say there's a guy named Terrence. Terrence is the coach of a high school team. And Terrence sees that he has this superstar athlete who comes into the program, and let's just say that athlete's name is Sam. And Sam is a great long jumper and triple jumper, and Sam's a girl, right? So Terrence, the coach, is all about, every athlete does 4 events. It's all about getting them to be a team player, sacrificing themselves and showing loyalty to the program, all those things. So that coach is indirectly pushing athletes to do more than they're capable of doing, simply because of it helps win team titles and etc. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And I support the mentality of creating team camaraderie and all those great things. It creates a bond. It's a lot of great things that can happen out of that. On the flip side of playing devil's advocate is now you're using athletes that might be state level or might excel in certain events, but they can't because they're tired from the previous event. And now you have athletes that are operating at 50, 60, 70, 80% versus 100% in their events. So that's just a coach that is, win strong and trying to get championships, because obviously championships allows for, more exposure and etc. And again, all that is true. So this is not a negative talk about that coach, Terrence. Now, let's go with Sam. Let's look at it from Sam's perspective. Now, let's say Sam is a primary long jump, triple jumper, is able to possibly develop and to make state, maybe win a state championship and so on. However, because of the head coach's philosophy of we have to do 4 events, now what's happening is, let's say the jumper says, well, I don't want to run too much, so let me just do the relay, the 4x1, and the 100, because it's not too much. Well, in a dual meet, the meet goes by kind of fast. So now, instead of getting prepared for the long jump mentally, they're busy focusing on handoffs. They're busy focusing on, the relay and running that race. Now, when they come over to the long jump, they've already depleted some of their quick twitch fibers and their energy is kind of gone. And so now they jump, and they're jumping at less than 100%, right? Then after the long jump is done, they run over to the 100. They go score the points there. And again, they're more tired. Now comes the triple jump, another primary event of that athlete named Sam, and they're operating at whatever speed. Why? Because they're not as fast. They just ran at least 440s, and they also ran 2 100s. Now they're coming in to try to triple jump as far as they can. Now, obviously, when an athlete is younger, they're going to excel. They're going to have some great results and so on because their speed is there, right? But you think about it, if we have a dual meet on a weekday, let's say a Thursday, then you have a invitational on a Saturday. Well, back to the coach that wants the awards, that coach will put an athlete into 4 events for invitational. It makes sense for scoring for dual meet championships, but when it comes to invitationals, there's no scoring champion for most track meets. So simply, if you think about it, you should be only doing the events that you are specialized in. And for my athletes, I have them choose one, but I'll get to my perspective later. So now that athlete goes into the invitational and has to do the relay. Why? Because that's the relay. The relay involves Sam, right? Then you have them do long jump, triple jump, and then maybe they do the 400, the 100 also. So now that's 2 events, 2 track meets that the athlete has done, 8 events total. But then you look at the calendar week. If you go Thursday, Saturday, and the next Thursday, now you're looking at an athlete who just did 3 track meets in 1 week, as in 7 days. You add a couple more days to that, you're looking at 4 track meets within 10 days. It's wear and tear on the body. And so again, this is not wrong, it is not right. It's just however you perceive it. But if you are hearing this and you understand it, you might be falling into this situation. So the solution of this is talk to your coach, parents, talk to the athletes. What's the overall vision and plan of your coach or of the athlete? Try to figure out, what are we all trying to do? Why? Because yes, team is all of us, but there's also a me. And what are you going to be doing for me to help me get to the next level? If my goal is to get to a college level, right? Help me hit a mark that qualifies for that. But if I'm being diluted by doing all these other events, it's like maybe I do all the events for the dual meets, and then I can specialize in one event for the other, or for the invitationals, because I'm rested, right? In the end, that still helps the team. It still helps, the overall dual meet scores and all that stuff. And it helps with the athlete move forward and get more opportunity. The athlete just needs a couple meets, maybe a season or something that athlete can actually showcase his or her talents so the college coaches can see it. Now, my philosophy is I would have my athletes, if they're triple long and high jumpers, I would train them in the event I want them to focus on for that week. So with Dami, I would say, okay, we're going to work on high jump this week. So we do high jump the whole week. Invitational will be that Saturday. We would do the high jump, and maybe we would do long jump just to kind of get the wheels moving. But that would be it. We would just do long jump, do a couple jumps, get your feet moving, and then head over to high jump, sit down, watch the event. Because again, when you're doing 4 events, you can't watch any. You're busy warming up or cooling down or switching shoes. So hopefully this lands for you guys and it makes sense. And again, there's no wrong in this. There's no right in this. Everyone has their philosophy. But as long as everyone is on the same page, it makes so much sense. And the athletes and coaches are willing to do so much more because they know where they're headed. That's it for today. I will see you all next time.